Chancellor Sir, who is a man of distinct vision, a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge and wisdom, Professor Dr. Akshay Agrawal Sir, to give the presidential speech. Please, sir.
Professor Amit Shah, Mr. Badman Buch, and Dr. Abhish Patel, and friends. First of all, I must express my regrets for being late. Late normally I not, but for other reasons, was late for a few minutes. The first cohort of M.Pharm students and ME students have just gone through the 2 years at GTU. For us at this stage, you see that whatever work is patentable should be sent for that particular purpose. More importantly, when we give topics to our students, it may be beneficial if we look at the kind of topic we are giving and whether it is something which can ultimately lead to some patentable work. We are a technology university, and therefore we have an intimate relation with the practical part of whatever we do. There can be ideas which can be tomorrow attached and converted into useful products. And we do not want to say that that kind of research is not of value. But essentially, a technology university has got to work for products and processes which improve the production, which improve the development of our industry. So GTU must get involved in that particular process, and therefore it is that we have started with this particular workshop. This work of making our teachers aware about patenting processes will have to be carried to engineering and to other areas. And we'll also have to see that we are ready to help the large number of students in the final year who are now going to do their projects. You know, our degree engineering students and degree pharmacy students, they will be coming to the final year now. And therefore, we already have information about more than 16,000 projects which have been taken up by our degree engineering students and diploma students. And we are still getting the information, so I think we are going to end up with something like 20,000 projects with our students. They are of course undergrad projects, but then some of them may also turn out to be patentable products. So it is important that this university works for helping our students and teachers get patenting done whenever required. In fact, in all the universities in the outside world, there is a standard position called Vice President Research. Vice President you can look at as a kind of pro-Vice Chancellor. So that is a position which is there, and in that office, an important part of the office is on IPR. So there is no university in the outside world which will not have a Vice President Research, and there is no university which will not have an IPR cell. We are not used to that kind of process in our universities. But GTU must have these things because after all, our mandate is to deal with technologies. I will not try to talk too much about all these things because you have experts who will talk about these areas during the next 2 days. And as it is, I think we also have a subject on this area in masters. So maybe you have looked at it. I would take this time to talk to you about a couple of other things which are before us and which are worrying the university. The issue is of the society losing interest in pharmacy education. As you must have seen, a very large number of pharmacy seats are today vacant at BPharm. It happened last year at diploma, and now it has spread very deeply into the BPharm program. The trouble is, if the BPharm program were to collapse, we will not really be able to sustain a BPharm program, because that obviously requires a much larger BPharm program. The question is, therefore, what is it that we have not done well? Why is it that our BPharm program is collapsing? These are issues which teachers and the university has to work on. So please try to think about what we can do to revive interest in the society in our program. One basic issue that we have, of course, is we have to make these BPharm students employable. I have been going around the state, meeting the industry people, meeting our pharmacy people, and I have come to the conclusion that the industry prefers to recruit BScs and not BPharm students. We can blame the industry, saying that they don't want to pay adequately, therefore they take a BSc because he will be probably available at a lower rate. Same way the industry can blame us and say that BPharm students are no good as far as practical jobs in the industry are concerned. But I think it is our job to ensure that we make our BPharm students more employable. So I would suggest that we should all give a thought to it, and we should work with the industry to see that we are able to make our students more employable. Only if our students are more employable will we be able to create an interest in the society in our program. Another thing that you all know and where we have to do something is about the state of pharmaceutical industry in Gujarat versus the state of pharmaceutical education in Gujarat. Pharmaceutical industry is such that Gujarat has been able to take a leading position. We have a very large part of the national pharmaceutical industry in Gujarat. But the fact remains that we have not become leaders in pharmaceutical education in the country. I'm not talking about becoming leaders in the world, which also should be a fair objective for a large country like ours. But at least, if our industry has been able to take a leading position, why we should not also be the leaders in pharmaceutical education in the country? One does not become a leader easily. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a vision and it takes a lot of hard work to be able to achieve that. The industry has become a leader because they must have worked hard, there is no doubt about it. You do not become a leader easily. If we have not become a leader in pharmaceutical education, then we have to look into ourselves and try to see what is required. Of course, as we work hard, we will also require support from the industry. But I can assure you that support will become available once we are ready. If we are working hard, I don't think we'll find it difficult to get the support. The trouble is only that we have to make our institutions more vibrant. The trouble is only this, that we are not looking at our own career and planning and working to make this career great. Most of you are young here, and I would like to point out to you that to become a great professor requires only determination by you. If a young man should decide that he would become a great professor, he won't become. There is nothing which can stop you. In this society, there is no one who can stop your progress if you want to progress ahead. We have 1,000 problems in our country. And we can say that till all those 1,000 problems are solved, we will not begin. Or we can begin at our own level. What I suggest is that to become a great teacher, when you are going there as a teacher, of course it depends upon your students. One can say, unless I get the best of students, I will not become a good teacher. That is a possibility. Yes, of course. We were in Nepal, well, he can motivate very ordinary people and make them great. So I would not buy the argument. Let's all work hard in our classrooms and in the laboratories to ensure that our students do well. More than that, all of us have to start ensuring that every day we spend a little time on reading what is happening in our area. You must be fully aware of what is happening in your field. And as you grow senior, your responsibilities will grow, because you have to be aware of not only what is happening in your field, in research, you will also have to be aware of what is happening in the industry in your field. Because you are supposed to be, a professor is supposed to be a leader in his field. We call him a professor by saying that he is our leader, he is the leader in our field. You don't become a leader if you are blind on sides. A leader has got to have a 360-degree vision. You have to be aware of the academics, and you have to be aware of the world around you. That is one of the shortcomings that most of the times we in the academia have got. Many of us have done good research, but very few of us are aware of what is happening in the industry, in the world, in their area. It is our job to guide the top ranks in the industry about what is happening in their area. It is not their job to come and tell us what is happening in our field. But that is the way things are happening right now. We expect that the industry will be more advanced than we are. We expect that they will come and tell us what is happening in our field. I have not yet been able to recall a 2-day session where we should be able to invite the industry top honchos and inform them about what is happening in their field. I do not think we are ready. We have to be ready for that. Why would a person come? when you invite unless you have something to give. So we have to work, we have to start working in developing ourselves. I assure you there is no limit to where you can go in this world. To the extent that the world has become one, it has become easy for a person who has the competence to develop. You can become the best professor in the world. You can walk into the topmost university and they will be glad to have you if only you have the competence. You will not have to apply at many places if you are really competent. At the lower level and at the middle level, it is very hard to progress. At the higher level, there is a shortage of people everywhere in the world. Try to reach that level. Then you will be able to select the job where you want to be. Then it will not be that you will be running after a good job. But that will require a few years of hard work, a few years of full devotion to your field. And such opportunities were not available to our countrymen earlier. But today we have come to a stage where the opportunities are available to individuals provided they would want to take it. So I would say we should move in two directions. As a university, we want to be leaders in learning outcomes. As a university, we want that every single class and every single lab that we have becomes the best in the world. That is the first objective that the university has. The second objective this university has is that a very large number of our professors should be recognized all over the world. These are the two objectives that this university has. And if we are able to achieve these two objectives, well, we would have become a great university. A university is not great because it has great buildings. Of course, you require the best of infrastructure, you require the best of labs. But those come as you work hard. There will be no shortage of those things if we really require them. So university becomes great by its great teachers. It becomes great when it is able to attract students and teachers from everywhere. That is the capability we have to create. That is where we want to go. The team is determined to help you achieve greatness. We will be there when you want any help. But of course, university requires a lot of help from you. We require help from you every day, every hour. And when all of us start working hard together, we will achieve what we want to achieve. Thank you.
All these people who are quite a lot involved in making this university great. Of course, who have been asked to offer a lot of thanks. A little bit tell that how Professor Manish Raj and all people have done a lot to make it happen. And in fact, Professor Rawal has contributed a lot in making this process, making the complaints and all this stuff. So first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Rawal for making this process happen. Because we discussed this thing to something in pharmaceutical IPR in 1 month, past 1 month, and he told you have to make it quite faster because we just cannot buy our time to doing this stuff. So he told that I cannot spend much time in making this university great. I want to make it happen quite faster. So that is the way he works. So of course he deserves a special thank, and I will just come to a few more things that we feel that we are thinking of is, you must be knowing that C2 Innovation Council is doing a lot of work in that. And so we could not involve pharmaceutical sciences directly in this current year, but from maybe in next July or something after the inputs, we'll be taking you people as a key stakeholder in that innovation movement. And Manish once told, 65% and 5% that benchmarking and all this stuff. We'll take a challenge, and of course we have decided that challenge that by next July in engineering and other sciences, we are filing at least 100 PCTs because we have 24,000 theses that is being done this academic year. All theses are taken from some industrial issues. So we will be chasing them right from the beginning. We will not just look at the end product or something like that, but we emphasize much on process innovation because pharmaceutical people are quite a lot aware about process patterns and all. So we have learned that terminology from you and try to implement it in other governments also. That's how to emphasize the process part. So that we shouldn't be aiming only to the 1,000, because we apprehend that maybe if we dream high, we can make 1,000, but maybe if we will not benchmark right from the beginning, we will miss another 1,000 which are nearly in the virtual boundaries, which can be patented, but we couldn't make it. So that is what the target Professor Gawal is having, and of course, we don't mean target means a virtual target, we mean a real target that we want to make it happen. And that is what I would like to thank them, the direction that he gave and the way we are trying to work out so that we'll be able to get this done. And this will be another benchmark in the IPR field that my academics in university, I was comparing with Michigan and all, they have not gone to that level. So it's worthy to dream something big, and I will thank you all for that and initiating this process, and that too in pharmaceutical sciences, as Raj told, that is a priority area. And I would like to mention a few things here that how we're going to make it happen. Of course, from 1950s to 1991, India was struggling with the GDP rate of 3.2, 3.21, 3.19, something in that range. Of course, it doesn't mean that we didn't have capacity people or we had quite a lot of that guys from Cambridge and all these people at the time. But the problem was, when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru mentioned a team of advisors and all, somehow we stuck to a terminology of, change thinker. What is that? The advisory capacity post, designation, everything was in that pipeline. That he is so and so departmental change thinker. And all the great financial experts are there, but still we were struggling in 3.2 GDP by involving so-called change thinker. And on 23rd of September 1991, we had to share 2 tons of gold from Reserve Bank to World Bank because we didn't have anything else in our economy. We had to solve these things. And I was just sitting and comparing the same stuff, what I'm saying, that if same way 1991 was 20 years back, and if we will not protect the IP and it will be sold out after some years, then change thinker will not be able to do. So what we say, what we believe is, we need change makers now. That what we believe and what Mr. Gawal is doing, and of course our thanking process, that we need every one of you. We don't need one advisor or one capacity building person, but the terminology and the thing that we really need is we want to convert each of you as a change maker in this entire process. And many of the time here is told that we don't consider you as an individual, we consider you as an institution by some. And that is what the purpose of arranging such workshop. And I would like to thank each of you who has participated today, that as I told that 1991 that happened, of course India has a great potential. Whenever we face crisis, everybody comes together, otherwise we stay ahead, And in November of 1991, in 3 months, in the only 1 quarter, we went to an extent that not only we repaid that gold loan, but also we gave loan to the others. 3 months, just in 3 months. So the purpose is, I was just reading a statistics in Harvard Business Review regarding this IP, and I was comparing that what economical aspects and what I think this booklet what he has provided, he also mentioned that research to revenue on mind to market sort of journey that I want to do. That Australia has, I think, statistically 36,000 patents in a decade, and India has lesser. But that's not a problem. The problem is not in the numbers. The problem is in the contextual balance in the economical contributions. We contribute 2% in the world's GDP economy. Australia contributes 0.06%. So in 0.06%, they give 36,000, and in 2%, 1,000 times better than them, we contribute very lesser. So, and that is not a problem. The problem is not exactly that we are protecting IP or something. The problem is now this entire definition of further knowledge economy is changing. We are believing when we got independence and all this stuff, everybody was talking, Daridra Narayan and all this stuff. But now the entire eco is Gyan Narayan, some sort of empathetic emphasis on economical aspects from intellectuality. So the point is, if you are thinking about contributing the world economy, everybody talks somewhere or other in the conference every day that we are superpower by 2020. But the point is, we're thinking that we'll be superpower by backing up on 550 millions of youths in the provinces like you, who are the bigger part of demographic dividends. Of course, GTU is having 2.5 lakhs of people, so again, thanks to Dr. Rawal, Dr. Vadadari is here, he's managing a lot of things in examination now. So it is a huge task, the policy innovation that he has done in examination part and other. But we believe that universities should not do an examination. We believe that we have to do much policy innovations in R&D, in other aspects. So again, thanks to Dr. Vadadari for this thing that we are initiating a step towards that, moving to that right. And of course, Dr. Manish Raj, he has struggled a lot, and of course we'll expect that every one of us from today, as I told that change maker, after going to the colleges and all, they will be sharing the same stuff to all your students because you want a dissemination process by you, because we will not end up at your doorstep. You will be a route planted process to spread out all the knowledge and information. So we will expect that we will have some 120 change makers in days to come in your colleges. We will go in because you will be impacting 10,000 people. So that is the easiest way for us to reach out anytime, right? And of course, I will add another line. I was talking to Dr. Anamik Shah and all, like figuring that, in 1980s, when Dr. C.K. Parla, who is the professor in IIM, he collaborated with Tom for first at the bottom of the pyramid, because those people who are quite at the economical lower end, they are having the biggest market. And at the time, even in the Harvard case study, and these people at that time were thinking that such garib log ke paas market zyada hai. But the point was, at that time, the comparison was not in intellectual poverty. The context was economical poverty. But now, the issue in today, after 1991, 20 years we have passed out from economical liberalizations, but somehow we could not do the intellectual liberalizations. And again, I would like to thank you, right beginning, that you will take this thing ahead, that it's not the people in the lesser known colleges or undergraduate level. I call it as a BOP in intellectual capacity, or we call it as a BOP in the intellectual capacity. These people may be staying in lesser known colleges, but they are not in BOP. They may be economically in that range of BOP or whatever of the section of economic, but they are not intellectually full. The minds are quite marginal colleges are not marginal minds at all. So that is the emphasis that we are trying to do. Is this entire mission is to make an inclusive movement. We will involve every student, every faculty, and of course, you will carry forward this message on behalf of us. So again, in advance, I will thank you that, because please, what we can give it to you is a high level of expectations from our side, and I would like to thank you all for this process. And of course, a team from Dr. Rance College, Ms. Kritika, and all these people, they're toiling a lot because, sometimes these people play a vital role in making all this process happen. So they deserve a great applause for this approach. And what I told is this 1,000 benchmark that we care. Of course, that of engineering and other similar stuff we will think of in pharmaceutical sciences, and Professor Rawal has already told that we will make a cell sort of activity, and of course we'll invite everybody of you because he's from patent cell and all. So we'll try to mentor theoretically, and it will not be like only mentors of mentors, so that it will be a translational movement. It should not be a, what you can say, a perfect beginning movement. It should be incremental improvements movement, so that we will learn and disseminate that thing that we're going to do. And in fact, 2.5 lakh students is a huge resource of this university. In the entire domain of pharmaceutical sciences, around 10,000, and highest in India in terms of colleges and export of pharmaceutical products and all. So, only thing I'll end off with a humble request and a thanking to everybody that what happened in 1991, we reverted back in 3 months, and I was talking to Planning Commission 2 days back that how we really did it. So, Dr. Narendra Yadav, who is the economic advisor to the PM, was telling me that we did, how we did it, not know, but only thing is we followed few lines what has been practiced in India since the days. Some practice, some philosophy applied in scientific revolutions, applied in economical revolutions, and research revolutions. I told, what is that? She was telling, look to Dr. Master what he did when he was in CSIR. Hardly 10% patents from India were going to USPTO और कभी-कभी तो ऐसे ही बताता हमारे टेक्नोलॉजी वो patent करते थे और हम बोलते थे कि it's okay. So the point was, she derived a concept of national laboratory to national laboratory. How individual strength can be culminated as an integrated strength. Because every of us or you are a great power of a thinker, a doer or something like that. So they believe that from 90s, 89 and 90s, to convert the entire research ecosystem to not as a unified national laboratory, but as a nation as a laboratory philosophy. Every student matters, every researcher matters. And I was talking to all that, not a single university has gone after that CSR revolution to make a benchmark in that process. And I will thank especially for him, he has appreciated the challenge, he has taken the challenge, and of course we have taken the challenge that why cannot we dream to make it happen? Of course we are 3-4-year-olds, so it hardly matters, yeah, large advantage in always. So what we're thinking in this process is, can we convert this entire university strike for something individually, institutionally, and as integrated parameters? So I would like to thank for that theme that he has given, and of course you play a very vital role in this process. So starting from a individual movement to integrated movement, so that maybe we can think, 100 patents, it should be tough. But I think we have more than 200 faculty, 300 experts, so it will be easy for us to share roles to play in various fields. And thanks to Dr. Manish and of course Dr. Shah and all of us counts. And we'll try to involve in this process for creating few sectoral innovation council in pharmaceutical sciences. We'll write a note in that in the university website very soon. And we'll categorize according to expertise in your areas. And we'll create center of virtual excellence in my field to map you all to create this dream what he has given up. Of course, it has been taken from your mindset. Thank you all for giving me a chance. Thank you all. Thank you.
And sir is going to give a talk upon IPR and its overview. Please, sir.
Faculty members who are from different pharmacy colleges of Gujarat, and what I am going to share with all of you some of the important aspects of IPR. I have a patent A and I have a patent B. Now I want to develop a product which is basically a admixture of patent A and patent B. So I am creating a novelty in patent C, but this novelty is obtained only when I am using some part of patent A and some part of patent B. So that very part, this is the point of infringement. And all there will be severe conditions for even marketing, for many financial losses which will incur due to the point of infringement. So this is the same, but it is in the round drawing. So this red mark, we can say that it is our infringement of the patent. So this is how we can go for that. So if we look at the commercial value of patent, then what is the commercial value of the patent? See, in the definition of patent, 4 things are there. The last thing is that it should be industrially useful. Now this industrially useful word itself is very much debatable in the IPR management. The reason is that suppose it is not industrially useful and it is useful for some other purpose, then can it not be patented? So in many discussions, this wording which is in some of the definitions of patent, it is objectionable, and many are still playing around this definition. So what is the value of patent? $1 billion to 0. If this patent expires in the span of 20 years and you are not able to commercialize this, then there is no value of patent. So patent expires without doing anything. And therefore, the patent which is taken, it should be commercially viable also, not today, maybe tomorrow. And this is how the entire game starts. So, on other side, what one has to pay for infringement of patent? I am just citing the example of Microsoft, and Microsoft has obtained and they were to fight against the patent infringement, and many of these Bill Gates cases are out of court settlement. Because if the court settlement will take years together, Bill Gates would not have earned for some patents which he has already used without asking to the patent holder, and then when patent holder will catch hold of Microsoft, they have to pay some money. So you can just see that Microsoft versus eye for eye. What are the loss given by the way of the compensation? 290 million. This case he wins. But again, Microsoft versus Alcatel-Lucent Technology. So they have a loss of 1.5 billion by Microsoft to use the patent, which is very intelligently used in the Microsoft software, and therefore if one can catch hold of that this is my patent, then lots of infringement, and therefore the compensation will come in the terms of billions of rupees. This is the two very important sides. Okay. Now the second part we are coming in the another IPR, that is copyright. Copyright is a legal term, and it is describing the rights given to the creator for their literary and artistic work. Many things are given in the particularly this particular IPR, and we are not going into the details because some of the matter is given already with you. So you can later on read what covers the IPR. But let me come to some important aspect of this. Painting, drawing, photograph, sculpture, maps, technical drawings, these are all covered in the various types of copyright. Okay. Now, as far as India is concerned, Copyright Act was amended time to time. So, it is approximately 6 times copyright was amended, and I am citing one or two examples. Everybody knows Copyright Act, and therefore he distributed among his 5 or 6 sons all books, poem books and other things, and he allotted this copyright to his sons. Now what has happened that a very good Gujarati singer and artist, they had played one very important song of Javetan Meghani in their film, and since there was a Copyright Act, Javetan Meghani's son has sued in the court of law, and then they have to make the settlement for few thousands because they have used the particular words of that song in a Gujarati film. So there are certain cases where such type of things have happened, but the copyright is for 60 years, and therefore some may use very intelligently how to come out from the window of the copyright. For example, Bhagavad Go which is a series of Gujarati dictionary, which was created by Maharaja of Gondal, and he has given for any new word, Gujarati word, he has given 1 rupee coin at that time. So there were more than 10 to 15 volumes of Bhagavad Go when it was first published. So anybody can republish this work without giving a single rupee to the copyright holder, and that's what many publishers has done, and it is now published. Similarly, Mahatma Gandhi's book, Navjivan Trust is holding the patent right of Mahatma Gandhi's books, but now it is 60 years. So anyone can jump into this business, and they can publish the books with artistic flavor, with different forms, and they can enjoy exclusion of the copyright. Again, the trademark. Trademark is used in relation to goods for the purpose of indicating a connection between the goods and the some person having the right as proprietor to use the trademark. And we know that trademark is a very general term, but there are some specific visual symbol in the form of a word or device or label applied to the article of commerce, and with a view to indicate to the purchasing public that these are the goods which are manufactured by a particular company, and this company have its own reputation in the market, and therefore we are always look at the trademark, whether any trademark is given or not. A trademark provides protection to the owner of the mark by ensuring the exclusive right to use it to identify goods or services, or to authorize others to use it in return of the payment. So, and it can be renewed. There are many other points which are related to trademark, and it is enforced by the court. If there is any trademark infringement, then one has to go to the court of law to resolve the issue. The other idea is known as geographical indications, and the definition says that the name or sign used in reference to the product corresponding to the particular geographical area or some. Thus, GI grant the right to its holder that acts as a certification mark, and also show that the specified product consists of some qualities and is enjoying a good reputation due to its origin from the specified geographical location. I am citing only one example of Darjeeling tea. Now, Darjeeling tea, which is not produced from Darjeeling, it is also sold earlier as a Darjeeling label. So, with the clauses of geographical indication, there is a remedy for those who are manufacturing, who are selling the Darjeeling tea. So, in 1983, Darjeeling logo was created and it was registered. Then at various jurisdictions, the word Darjeeling is also registered as certification mark earlier. Then what has happened, that under 1999 Act of GI of goods, which was operational for 2003, logo as well as word both were registered. And once it was registered, there were 171 companies who were operating in Darjeeling. They have registered with the tea brand of Darjeeling. Out of them, 74 were producers and 97 were traders or exporters. Now, they have issued certificate of origin that the tea which is branded by Darjeeling tea is authenticized, and all export consignment is now authenticized. 100% authentic Darjeeling tea is ensured to the importers. So this is the benefit of geographical indicators. We know that near Hyderabad, very famous sari, Pochampalli, right? And it is manufactured only by in that area. Similarly, Kachchi Sal, now GI process is going on. So nobody else than Kachchi people can make. Similarly, Tirupati Laddu. Now it is under GI. They have registered, so nobody can sell the Tirupati Laddu now onwards because there is a GI. Similarly, Jamnagar Bandhani. Now Jamnagar people, they have been alert, and they are also want to put a specific GI, and only Jamnagar manufacturers will be allowed to manufacture, and they can sell this as their own brand. So this is the benefit of GI. Just like many drinks, though in Gujarat it is forbidden, but we have whiskey and this and that, scotch. everything is related with particular geographical brand and particular area of France, Germany or Russia, like that. So this is how we call it as a GI in India. GI indicators can also be used for agricultural products. There is a GI which is registered, particularly orange. I don't know the location. Nagpur orange. So Nagpur orange is located for particularly orange. So Nagpur orange, once it is GI marked, then you are ensured that it is Nagpur orange. We know that in Hafus, the orange, the mangoes, now Valsad Hafus or Talala Kesar mango, this can be a very good cases for GI this thing. So specific, okay. Next comes protection of industrial designs. Industrial designs are what makes a product attractive and appealing, as they add to the commercial value of a product and increase its marketability. When an industrial design is protected, this helps to ensure a fair return on the investment. An effective system of protection also benefits customers and public at large by promoting fair competition and honest trade practices. Protecting industrial design helps economic development by encouraging creativity in the industrial and manufacturing sectors and contributes to the expansion of commercial activities and export of the national products. I can cite you an example of Rajkot. Rajkot is very much famous for the engine, particularly the engines which are used for this water resources. So the original brand came from the Lister, and everybody was happy in Rajkot. So there was one manufacturer, second manufacturer, third manufacturer. So in a particular